Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One, and today we're starting a new program called Killing the Myth, because there's a lot of information going on throughout the community, and if you stop to think about it, you would see that that's not really what's happening. And so all this propaganda and all these fables that are being spread by outside forces is normally Negro men who try to pretend to be other people, like Greeks, Africans, Romans. You know how we do it. And they take the ideology from these groups of people, even Christians. They take their ideology about life, which is totally wrong, but they don't take their grandmothers, grandfathers, great-grandmothers, grandfathers' ideology on what life is. So today we're going to dispel a few of those myths, and we hope this is helpful to everybody. Today, and joining us and leading us through this is going to be Rick Moon. What's going on, Rick?
Hey, how y'all doing out there? What's going on, America? I'm doing good, Indigenous One. Can't wait to get this started.
All right, well, let's get it started.
All right. Okay. The reason why we did this video, and the reason why I'm kind of doing this series is because there's a lot of rumors, going out, and we're having these discussions, and they're really getting kind of out of hand. And mainly it's between male and female. And so I decided that we would try to do a little series dispelling some myths that we keep hearing all the time. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. Today we're going to dispel the rumor that the male is the so-called seed of life. Okay, and I want, before I get into it, I want to give props to it. You probably could see it on the screen where it says Aces Aces. Well, Aces Aces was the one that posted the picture that you're looking at right now, and I just wanted to give him his proper due respect for posting that, because it's going to be part of the inspiration of the show, of this program. Now, what I want everybody who's out there listening and looking at this, I want you to look at those are different, 4 different kinds of fruit, and I can't remember which ones they are or anything, but I want you to just take a look at them and just kind of study them for a minute. And then I want you to answer this question: what part of the human anatomy does those pictures look like? It's 4 of them. And I can't see the chat right now, but if anybody's in the chat, could you answer that question? I'm sure Indigenous One can, he'll be able to see it. But I want everybody to just look at those pictures and tell me what part of the human anatomy does that remind you of. And I'll give you a little second. Indigenous One, did you want to say something real quick? While we sit.
The human anatomy, it looks like it looks like the vaginal cavity, and the one on the top left looks like it's twin.
Well, that's what it looks like to me too. And I wonder, I don't know how many people in the chat, but I wonder how many people in the chat think the same thing. Because that's exactly what it looks like to me. And before we get more into this, let me give you a definition of the seed. And I got this out of the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So it's not my definition, but this is what I got out of the Merriam-Webster definition for the meaning of a seed. Number one, the grains or ripened ovals of plants used for sowing. Number two, the fertilized ripened ovule of a flowering plant containing an embryo and capable normally of germination to produce a new plant. Okay, now let's slow that down a little bit and talk about this for a second. And I especially want to get into the second definition I gave you. Okay, it says the fertilized ripened ovule, ovule. My question there is, who does ovules relate to? Does that relate to the male or the female?
The female.
Correct. Okay, let's go on. Of a flowering plant containing an embryo. What's embryo?
A human in its first stages of life.
Thank you. Okay. And capable normally of germination to produce a new plant. Now, that right there should have dispelled the whole myth right there. Don't you think so, Indigenous one?
It dispels the myth before the myth even starts.
That's what I think.
But I know we get into this Bible stuff, and the Bible stuff reverses that, and we support that. We support that wholeheartedly. We try to pretend like we don't, but we do. And that's why we're in the position we're in today. Our thinking is not right. And we try to be arrogant, like it don't have to be right. It can be whatever boss tell it to be. And that's how the majority of African Americans think. Not everybody, but the majority of Negroes think that way, that the man runs everything. And obviously in America, the men of America don't run nothing. That's why many of them will say they're African. That's why many of them will play Christian. That's why many of them will play Muslim. Because like you said last night, if you playing those people, you won't have no responsibility here. That was it, dude.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Indigenous one, you there?
I'm here.
Something wrong with my sound. I might need. I'm gonna have to go out and come back in.
Okay. So listen. So what's being shown to you is, in this whole African ideology, they got Africans going around that say men breastfeed babies. See, this is the dumb shit we get into when we don't know who we are. This is what these Africans teach. Not the Africans over from the continent, the brothers here who try to be Africans. They'll teach you that men breastfeed babies. From that whole gay Bible thing, if we would just read it, we would understand. That's what they telling us on page 1. Men give birth to baby. When men give birth to, how do 2 men give birth to a woman? You there, Rick?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, no. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay,
go ahead.
Okay. So, like I said, that actually kills the argument right there. We can just shut the show down right now if we want to. But I want to go a little bit further. And I want to show you this and I want to relate it to nature. Okay. Okay. We've already know the fact that as far as what a seed is and the definition of it is, it all pertains to the feminine side, to the female side of life, as far as Mother Earth's creatures are concerned. Okay, now let me show you how this works in nature. Okay, that's you have the seed. First, I'll explain it to you with a seed, and then I'll explain it to you as far as it goes with our people. Okay, you got a seed, right? That seed has to be planted somewhere. It has to be planted in the ground. So it has to be planted in the earth. So the earth, what the earth represents is the ovule, where the seed is kept. That's what the earth represents. Okay. Okay. Then you got the seed itself, which represents, the new plant or whatever. Okay. Once you put that seed in the ground, it has to have a fertilizer. So that's what the food, water, and all, that's what that represents. That represents the fertilizer, because that's what you feed into the plant to make it grow. Because it needs those two things, other nutrients and water. Well, actually, the nutrients are in the earth also, but it needs water and it needs sunlight to be able to grow. Okay, now to put that in human nature, the female's ovary represents the earth. The eggs represent the seed or the new coming baby. Okay. The sperm is the fertilizer. It is the fertilizer. It what makes the egg fertile, so it makes the seed fertile, so it'll start to grow. And of course, the water. Of course, all through the pregnancy, the water, she will the female would always feed the baby water and food and the nutrients and stuff that it needs. All of this is carried on with the female. Now, where does the male come in here in this at? For all you people who might be a little disappointed, and I hope y'all kind of understood, that explanation. But like I said, the male, he's the fertilizer. He's the fertilizer. He which other things that male are responsible for, because the upcoming child is going to have DNA. The DNA, half of it comes from the mother, half of it comes from the father. So that's another purpose that you serve, that the male serves. Another purpose is that male might have certain, because in all of us, there's certain things that we have the antibody, already have the antibodies to stop, and then, but we might not have them all. But the ones that the female doesn't have, the male might have. So that's extra protection for that child. So now he's exempt from any disease that she's exempt from, and the father. So it's not that the male don't serve any purpose. It's just that we get a little too carried away and patriotic about this and want to be in charge of everything when it don't work that way. Everything, I mean, all of us, the Mother Earth, when every living thing created by Mother Earth is a replica of her. Every living thing, including people. All of us are replicas of her. Every living thing is like a little small living earth because that's where we came from. And when I say that, I'm talking about indigenous people. I'm not talking about everybody because everybody ain't indigenous.
Hey, Rick, let me share this with this brother, bro. Should vote to take that 3/5 of a human out there and change it. See, Wayne, this is what I'm saying and how it relates to what Rick is saying. See, we are being invaded by other men from other nations, China, Europe, and Africa. Whatever they say about us, you can believe it. You can go with it. You can get emotional about it. You can cry. You can go out and riot. But see, I don't listen to that shit. Because whenever you have somebody tell you who you are, you already they hoe. You let another man come tell you who you are, and you take what his words say against you as having some meaning, you'll be his bitch forever. So that's how it goes. What you say. All this stuff we doing, all we got to do is just stand up. Kick the dust beneath your feet. That's all we got to do. The energy that we wasting on this motherfucker, we gonna need that to build our shit. Another thing about what Rick said, the men don't stop fertilize. The men are fertilizers, but they're fertilizers for life. But you just can't be fertilizing with your dick. That's what the problem with brothers have now. You want to fuck everything. You can't do that. And by the way, when you have that orgasm, and I'm not gonna lie, it's the best feeling in the world. That's your pat on the back, or you did a good job from the creator. You got to start doing that with your mind, so we can lead ourselves out of this and never knowing nothing. That's what the brothers from America are good for. A woman has her job and a man has his job. And if the woman is going to take care of the kids, make all the clothes, do all the food, what we doing? We can't be playing. And it shouldn't even be an argument between the two. When your parents was creating you, you could not pull them apart. And now you bash each other and dog each other out because of your feelings. Y'all better wake y'all asses up and stop playing. Sorry, Rick.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, and now, and to add on to that, well, I just put it out there for you. I mean, you know, if anybody got any argument with what I say, show it to me in nature. I just showed it to you. So if anybody want to debunk it, go ahead. You have the opportunity. And this happens with all of Mother Nature's creatures, not just us. So you know that what I'm saying. Hey, if anybody got a better story than mine, please step up and give it to us.
Oh, I have a better story in mind. This is one of the stories of the indigenous people in America. And I like to use the Mississippi one, the Choctaws, because the Mississippi goes right through it. And instead of always on some Muslim stuff, because that whole nation of Islam comes off from a Pakistani religion. This is the dumb shit we do. This is how we're always controlled. You would and Farrakhan's from Trinidad somewhere. He won't even take his mama's religion from there. And this is who. And you wonder why we in a position we in? Are you serious? You would take a religious ideology from some people from Pakistan. The cultures are totally different, and you're going to take on their religious ideology. What do you think that's going to do to the land and the people here with you doing that? If you want an example, see Chicago. See, we always think it's cool that we can do what we want to do. No, it's not. The religion of the Choctaw is what? Nanawea. You always see the word Ananawea around the place. What is that? What is that Ananawea? This is the thing. These are the things we have to know. These are the symbols that your people put out for you to follow, and you trying to be a damn Christian. For real, cuz? For real? A man, two men, the Lord God and Adam get together to make a woman, and you believe that? You believe it? You would argue it. I know parents that'll put their kids out their house if they don't believe that shit. I know parents that'll make sure, mothers who will say, do not bless my children if they don't believe that dumb shit. This today, right now. The story, the Anawea story is that the children came out of the mother, and they laid on the mother and was dried by the sun god Abba. That alluded to the brothers, mother and nature, mother nature. That was the brothers. That's how brothers saw it, and brothers' job was to protect that, make sure nothing happens to mother and nature. And see, you see how we got flipped around on that, and y'all know that's the truth. And just turned us completely out. Now is not the time for that. Rick, you will go ahead.
Oh nah, that's hey, that's okay. Yeah, like I said, what we gotta do, and I said this last night too, we gotta look at things as far as nature goes, because nature is the only absolute truth. Nature never lies. That's why you have to look at things in terms of nature. That's why it was kind of simple for me to talk about, how seeds are sown, and related to so-called humans. That's we gotta think in terms of reality. We can't let other people, like Indigenous one said, we can't let other people do our thinking for us. And we need to get out of this patriotic bull crap too. Because that's basically what patriotism is. It ain't nothing but male domination. And that's exactly what a lot of our males think. A lot of them think that females are there for them. But I tell you what, you show me a male without a mother, and I'll show you a male that ain't never been in this world.
Yeah. Hey man, we got a caller.
Okay.
Hey, this sister right here brings light. She speaks, light comes out of her mouth like lightning bolts. Most lyrics. Welcome to African Americans Ain't African.
Hey, Alito, Mayo, Aki, what's going on?
Alito, most lyrics.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I just, trying to take a little time out, and I was, kind of scrolling through, and I started listening in, and I just want to sound really proud of you all for doing, our brothers for doing a show like this, because this is groundbreaking, and it's really profound, and it's so perfect at this time, while we're resetting. To help us to reset it and reset our mind and spirituality and calibrate us so we can get straight. So coming from you all, I'm just like, wow, I'm really proud of y'all for doing that. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and y'all right on point with it, because it's, the fact that you said about how our men have been influenced by other men, and that is so true. When colonizing men came to this land, what they observed is a beautiful system, really, in the Great Law of Peace, about how, we're all just, we're just, electric people who are just all connected to each other, the women, the children, the men, the land, the air, the water, and they borrowed from our great law to create their own constitution, but it's a failed attempt, and it's failed attempt, and we're looking at it today because you took out the key, you took out the heart of the law, which is the mother. And like you said, you turned it into a patriarchal system, and that's why we have such cruelty in this system. Myself being an educator, I have a background as an educator, a healer, and just working with families and children. And from schools to DFACS to juvenile courts, it's just a cruel system. In a system where the mother spirit is thriving, and we have an understanding, a biological understanding of who we are, and a spiritual understanding of who we are. We're not cruel to children. We don't eat our kids. We don't lock our kids up, and there's no such thing as a bastard child or an illegitimate child in our culture. There's no such thing. So when you took the land rights away stripped it from the women and from the mothers, you took away the connection, the land rights of the generations. And that's why women and children are so abused in the system the way they are. It's because you took the heart out. You took the heart of the women, the mother spirit out. And the mother spirit is for all of us. It's not just a feminine thing. It's a indigenous thing for all of us. We're all a part of the mother spirit. And I thank you for explaining and elaborating on that from a biological sense, that we're all a part of her. She is in us on the Chicago Day. So I just wanted to share that with them.
Well, thank you, Most Lyric. And please don't be a stranger.
No, don't.
Yeah.
So thank you. So we'll check you out next time, okay?
Yes, thank y'all, and I will keep listening.
Okay, thank you, love. All right.
All right,
Peace. So you see what the sister's saying. Everybody knows this. And there's one thing that she said. We so damn cruel to each other. What is that? What is that? I mean, that's cruel. And I'm not talking about just physically cruel. We can be mentally cruel, emotionally cruel. Just ugh. And be arrogant at the same time. That's what gets me about the Negro. You can be an asshole and be arrogant. Huh? How does that work? And you see this male and female bashing. Y'all, that gotta stop. Yesterday, we looking like complete idiots to the rest of the world. Imagine somebody coming over here from India, and no, erase that. You go to India and you see the Indian men and women just fighting in the street, the shit that we do over here. What would you think of them? Because that's what they think of you. And it don't gotta be all of us that's doing it. That's what this whole media, this social media for, the regular media mainstream, is to show you as a damn fool. And you have more than enough talent to make that happen. Rick, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Hey, I just want to say to Pretty B with a K. I don't know if that's a K or X. I hope I ain't scare you. But anyway, Well, I think we kind of pretty much covered, everything that needs to be covered. I really don't. I can't see, too many people arguing against that. If they do, they're welcome. So all I gotta say basically now is, hey, let's turn to nature. Let's look for nature for the answer. Absolute truth, baby.
And another thing, start going to nature to get a lot of your medicines, your food. Look for some things in nature. That's why when you study a genealogy and study what your people did, where they lived, you will pick up some things that you can probably use for yourself. Because these people were living to be 150, 175 years old, you guys. Our life expectancy is short because of the conditions we're living under. I hope that makes sense. Everything I try to tell you is simpler than wiping your ass. Seriously. And we're just passing by a lot of stuff because we got this arrogant streak in us and dumb and don't want to know nothing. And whatever the TV says, that's the truth. I don't want to hear nothing else. We better change that philosophy, guys. Better change that philosophy. So, Rick, I want to say thank you, man. That was a good one. Making stuff right.
All right. But before we go ahead and close out, I just wanted to say a few things. Everybody get ready for the No Grandma's Killer Tour coming up this weekend. Like I said last night, I won't be able to be there, but I think it's going to be it's a good opportunity for everybody to get away. And if you happen to be anywhere close to West Virginia, that's where I will be. We're having a male-female conference up there. So if you want to come up there, you can come up there too, and we can show you how we do it at FIA. And again, thanks Carrie, Phoenix, and all the rest of the gang on the No Grandma Killers tour to give all this information, and screw the 4th of July. And so with that, I just want to say thank you, America, for listening, and hope to be talking to you again. And we will be dispelling other myths that we keep hearing. Thank you.
Listen, I want to tell you guys, thank you. I want you to have a good week, but I also want the brothers to remember something. Your job is to protect Mother Nature. That's all the females, and that's nature. I mean, I didn't make this up. I didn't make it up. And brothers, we are some of the cruelest assholes on the planet. What you think gonna happen to you when you lay that body down? What you think you're gonna face next? Gotta turn it around, y'all. We can't be going out like this. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.
Peace.